Alright, welcome to StarCraft Happy Hour. We're going to put on a little bit of StarCrafty music in the background there. I'm Agamemnon. Whoa, let's see if I can do that again. Whoa. No. Okay, well, for some reason I had a little green screen. Oh, there it went. Yeah, I did it. I knew I could do it. Welcome to StarCraft Happy Hour. It is October the 28th. And we are kind of going back to a format that we started off the YouTube channel with, and that is a replay that shows the mistake, and then a replay showing how to fix that error for the win, right? So I got some, first of all, just to give you guys a little bit of background, I got some awesome coaching from a player from GG Kids. His name is Neuro. He also was a top 10 finisher in the Equalizer Cup Season 1. And he gave me such awesome coaching, and it's really made my PvZ that much better. What he really taught me is how to do the naniwa Zealot Immortal all-in, which is so much fun to do. I mean, like, it's so much fun. So instead of getting too much into that right now, we're going to take a look at a game between myself and Zealothar. Now, Zealothar, you may know him from the second place finish in the EQ Cup Season 1. He is a Platinum player, so he's very good, a lot better than me. I'm Gold, and I've never been able to beat him. I mean, the guy I just can never beat Zealothar. So we're going to jump into the first game. We're going to watch it really quick. We're going to kind of highlight some mistakes that I made, and then we're going to see if in the second replay, if I can fix those mistakes and maybe give Zealothar a bit more of a fight. So let's jump into the game. Here we go. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we even get into the game, I need to show you guys something. Check this out. Check out this puppy. It might look backwards to you, but that says press. Boom. Boom. Because we were just at the WCS Toronto. We did press coverage for them, got to meet all kinds of cool people. It was super awesome. Thanks to NASL for that. And check out my mustache as I drink this beer. There we go. Mustache went up into my above my nose there for a little bit. All right, and let's get this started. We're gonna hit the play button. We're probably gonna move through this replay a little faster than usual. Speed up a little bit. Because I wish I could get rid of the... Okay, there we go. There they go. We just kind of want to blow through this, and just so that you guys can get an idea of the weaknesses in my play PvZ. Maybe you might even sympathize with me and understand how difficult it can be, especially when you're up against a player who's better than you, but it's always good to play against players who are better than you because that's how you get better. So I love playing with my buddies on StarCraft who are way better than me. I even like it better than the ladder. It's much more fun. Alright, so Worker was able to scout this spawning pool. I think that's a 14 pool. 15 pool. No, I think that's technically a 14 pool. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so we've got a 14 pool expand from Zealothar. Again, as you people who watch StarCraft will know, or play StarCraft, that a quick natural expansion is almost every single Zerg game now. Anyway, doing lots of scouting. I want you guys to take note of that, please, because there's going to be a big difference in the next match. We've got 2 Zerglings on the way. Obviously spotted by the probe. So here come the Zerglings. Probably going to slow it down just a little bit. There we go. Alright, so the Zerglings right now are just checking if at the 4 minute and 20 seconds mark, if I have expanded, which I have not. So still 4:30, I haven't expanded. We have a Zealot out. Again, this is going to be important to note. The Zealot is out before the expansion, and the Mothership Core has now come out before the expansion. Now, excuse me, speaking about the scouting now, I now have to actually clear out these 2 lings with my Mothership Core and my Stalker. Now we went Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core before expand. We want to get rid of the detection so that we can expand without him knowing too much, but I mean, he's going to know what I'm doing. But basically spit that Zealot out so that it can plug the hole so that we're not going to get any ling run-bys. But in the second game, we're going to kind of see why that's not necessarily necessary. Not necessarily necessary. Very nice. Looks like my natural expansion was taken at around the 5.5 minute mark. Or maybe 5:45. Could be wrong. Sending out the Zealot and Stalker to poke around, see if there's any damage that can be done. Oh, get that, get that, get that! Boom. Down goes that... I was going to say Mothership Core. The Overlord goes down. And at the same time, Zealothar goes ahead, takes his 3rd. Rushing in here, picking up another Overlord kill. But look at all these lings. Oh my god. Mothership Core runs home after sacrificing her army, which was not cool. More Zealots get warped in. They die very quickly. Immortal now holding the ramp, but only 3 gates. We're on 2 base. No saturation. We're at the 9-minute mark. Alright, so let's remember that. We're at the 9-minute mark. Only 3 bases and a robo. And I've fallen behind in production. And only now starting to getting a little bit of saturation on the natural. Starting to build that wall at the 10-minute mark, basically. The wall at the natural is at like the 10-minute mark, which is really, really late. Alright. And Zealothar is going to go ahead and take a 4th. Because now he's feeling absolutely no pressure. Okay, this song I hate. Alright, cool. Let's get back into it here. Okay. So now I've got... Okay, we're going to pause for a quick second here. We're at 11.5 minutes. Okay. At 11.5 minutes, I have 6 gateways. 6 gateways at the 11.5 minute. And these guys haven't even been transmorgified into warp gates yet. So, supply block, which is not too sexy either. Oh no, I'm not supply blocked. I was, but I'm not now. Anyway, but doing a little warp-in pressure up here with some Zealots. And this is what they run into. They're not going to be able to do very much damage at all. And that is going to shut that down. I was hoping with a few Zealots to maybe take this out before it got up, but that's not going to happen. Little proxy pylon there, which is going to get scouted by Zealothar right away, because he knows that there's some shenanigans going on. That's for sure. Okay, I think I'm speeding this up a little more. Let's speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. Alright, let's take a look at the army. I do now have Colossus. I believe they have range, but I'm not sure. Colossus range has been upgraded. So now we're going for that kind of late game, because I saw the, oh, awesome. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Henry. So because I saw those Hydras, we're going for Colossus Tech. Sorry, I just got handed some delicious dinner from my lovely wife. Mmm. Nom 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 nom. So we're going to push out, and we're going to slow it down just a little bit. Forward pylon for reinforcement. Notice there's no warp prisms here, just a pylon. With the Mothership Core and a few Stalkers coming in. Now this doesn't look too bad of an army if you're just looking at it, but you're not looking at the numbers up here. Because I'm like half. At half the supply he's at, which is horrible. Alright, so we're gonna go in, and this is not gonna be good. Not bad force fields, but doesn't matter. Look at all the reinforcements streaming in by Zealothar. Those force fields did absolutely nothing. Oh, and there you go. My entire army melted, and all these poor zealots! Hero zealots, go! 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 Yeah, they're gonna die. They're gonna die pretty quick. I don't even know if I have +1. Yeah, that's GG. You're right, Agamemnon. That is GG. So that is the end of that. Did I have +1? Let's check. Okay, I did have +1, but that's it. And we're at the 16-minute mark, and did that look horrible? That looked pretty friggin' horrible, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I know it did. It's okay. So, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. Only going to take a second, because I need to eat a little bit of food. So let's pause the music. Hold on. And cut to a quick commercial. Okay, thanks guys for giving me a minute to have a bite to eat. We're going to jump into replay number 2, and this we're going to see the Zealot Immortal all-in that has been used, or invented, I guess I could say, by Naniwa. And, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that, people, but my internet crashed, and I took that that moment to eat some more food, which is wonderful because you got to keep your strength up in StarCraft. But like I was saying, in case you missed it, we're going into game number 2. Now, this is after I got some really great coaching from Neuro on the naniwa Zealot Immortal all-in, and so I hope you guys like my play better in this one. Excuse me, let me just pull it up, and we're going to talk through it as we go. Now, I'm not going to get into build orders too much. We're just going to pretty much learn as we go. And this is one of the great things, actually, if any of you guys ever get a chance to meet Neuro online. Again, like I said, he's in Clan GG Kids. Might be able to leave his information in the details below on the YouTube channel. But his method for coaching is really good. Because, see, for example, me, I don't like build orders. I hate build orders. Like, I don't want to memorize, oh, at 23 food I do this, and at 36 food I do that. I can't stand that. So I'm not going to give away his method because I've never come across it before, but his coaching was really good, and it was really made it easy for me to execute the build order that I should in a PvZ. So we're going to go ahead and load that up, I think, if I can find it. Let's just make sure this is the right one. Here we go. Perfect. Watch replay. Alright, so there's Zealothar. He's come back for more beatings on me. And there's proof for you people that yes, he is in platinum, and I am in gold. Okay, so what we're gonna, as this is starting up, we're gonna talk about a couple things. So the previous game that we just saw, we saw a very active scout. So I used my worker scout. This is the same map even, actually, which is kind of surprising. I didn't realize that, which is good though. That's awesome. So you'll notice that in the first game I did a lot of active scouting. In this game, I'm going to do no scouting at all. Like, none. No scouting. And that's going to feel... That feels really weird for me. Like, really weird. And the reason why it feels weird is because if you don't know your opponent's race and what your opponent can do at certain times, then you're going to feel like, oh my god, at any moment I could have like 20 roaches at my door. Or any moment I don't know what he's doing, so there's going to be a big like Hydra roach push, or Broodlords are going to just suddenly appear. The reality is, your opponent can only do certain things at certain times. You know, for example, especially with Zerg, Neuro's giving some words of wisdom here, which are awesome. With Zerg, they need to have a spawning pool. Now, once a spawning pool is made, they have access to Zerglings. So it's not like the first unit that's going to arrive at your door is going to be a roach. It's got to be a Zergling, right? So, no, this game was not during the EQ Cup. I'm just using the EQ Cup maps to... Yeah, that's all. So, yeah, sorry. I just lost my train of thought there for a second. So, basically the way it works is if your opponent is going for a 6 pool, right? Number one, your opponent's going for a 6 pool. Your opponent's lings on a 2-player map, or sorry, like a 1v1 like this, where it's just a direct line. Your opponent's Zerglings are going to arrive at your base if it's a 6 pool between 3:15 and 3:30, I think it is. But I think my game time here is off. Yeah, my game time is off. So, you know, we're not even going to talk about timings. But basically, there's a certain amount of time... Ah, that sucks. Hold on. Let me see if I can check my options, because I might be on real time. Where's the timer thing? Anything about timers? Show game timer, yeah? Oh, that's it. Okay, anyways. Let's cancel that. Let's just keep going here. Alright. Okay, anyways. Oh, this is what I'm going to say. Okay, so I'm building this Zealot because if it's a 6 pool, then around now, those lings are going to arrive. Okay? Now, the lings did not arrive within that amount of time. So we cancelled... Sorry about that, guys. Again, my internet crapped out. Yeah. But it looks like we're back now. So, anyways, what I was saying, if you missed it, was that Zealot that was being made was cancelled because the lings did not reappear, or did not appear at my base by about 4 minutes. So it's safe to assume that Zealothar is not 6 pooling. And we know that without even scouting. So we're going to go ahead and take an expansion. At the same time, we've got these lings coming up. And again, my timings are not super crisp because I'm not that great. And we have the Mothership Core, I think, on the way. Forge is going down. Yep, there's the Mothership Core being boosted out. Now, the Mothership Core is going to be able to take care of these 2 lings without too much trouble. So by the time that these lings arrive, we can now assume that our opponent, Zealothar, has gone for a 14 pool. But he hasn't overcommitted to lings. So we don't need to overcommit to Zealots or anything, really. We're just going to use the Mothership Core to clean this up. And unfortunately, that is going to delay my build a lot. But we're at the 5-minute mark. I've already taken the second. It's already natural. It's already completed. Started working on my wall here at the front. Only got one Zealot being made. And notice the Zealot was made in response to the Lings, not in case the Lings arrived, right? Because just by the timings, we know what he's done. Alright, so going for a Robo now. So we're still on one gate Robo. And then we're going to build up to 7 gates. Now we're going to build up to 7 gates. And actually this, got a worker transfer going on here. Our wall is pretty much complete. And we're throwing down lots of gates. And notice we're not building an army. My gates are not producing. I'm not building lots of stuff. We're going to try and get a lot of buildings up so that we can do fast mass warp-ins. Here's the next part of the plan. The warp prism. Yeah! You might be wondering, why a warp prism? Well, what we're going to do with that warp prism is we're going to get +1. We are going to get 2 Immortals. 2. Adding on more gates as we can afford them. The Immortals are going to be loaded up into the Warp Prism, and the Warp Prism will be dropping the Immortals, turning into that, and then turning into the Warp, or the Pylon mode or whatever. And we're going to be warping in 7 Zealots at a time. So we're going to be constantly reinforcing with our +1 Zealots, and in the back we're going to have the Immortals just doing tons and tons of damage. Spend a little energy just to push that Overseer out of the way. But you'll notice here that Xelothar's is going to actually get to see exactly what's going on. He's going to see absolutely everything. There's my 2 Immortals being produced. Still making more gateways. We are now at 7 gateways once that one's built. And if I absolutely need to, I can warp in a bunch of Zealots with the Mothership Core here and be able to hold the natural without too much trouble. We're at the 9-minute mark, and once this Immortal is done, then we're going to go. We're just going to go attack. Still, only 1 Zealot. Huge difference from last game, right? Some Lings on the way to put a little pressure on. 11 Roaches just got made. And the Warp Prism is on its way with the Mothership Core. I believe these Lings were spotted, so we're going to do a quick warp-in of all these Zealots. The Lings do back off. But the Zealots got warped in for defense, and now they're going to join the attack. So let's see what happens here. Here come the Lings. Pick up the Immortals. I hit the wrong key there, so he's dancing back and forth. Immortals are dropped. Warp Prism goes into warp mode. Look at all these Zealots. That is a lot of Zealots. A lot. So the Zealots are going to do pretty well against these Roaches. They don't have Roach speed yet. And if you pay attention to your Immortals, you can pick them up before they die, which is really, really nice. And then we're going to go into warp mode again. Warp in another 7 Zealots if we can. There we go. Now these Zealots are just on A move. They're not doing anything. But the point is we really want to damage his economy. So now we managed to take out the 3rd. Just Zealots and Immortals. Money's way too high for me, so I could be taking an expansion on the back of this. But we're just going to keep that pressure. Now, to spend our money a little more effectively, we now warped in some Stalkers, who also handle Roaches really, really well. Knock down the rocks. There we go. Knock down the rocks. And we should be getting another round of warp-ins very, very soon. You see, these Immortals are actually doing quite a bit of damage. We got 20 kills with the Immortals alone. And this Warp Prism can be moved over to continually reinforce the army. Now we're breaking down the door of the second. Now the Warp Prism really should be here to pick up the Immortals or whatever needs to be. But the Zealots and the Stalkers, with more Zealots being warped in, I have now taken a third. Going for +1 armor. But this is, like, you can see the difference in this game. I mean, this is such a huge difference between this game and last. Here, oh, they're going to toss out a couple infested Terrans. That's not going to do a whole lot. Still have that Warp Prism that should be moved with my army. Also, my Mothership Core is not with my army, which is not good. But there goes the second. There's the GG, and that's it! That's the end! So, we're just going to pause right here for a second. We're going to take a look. Okay, well, we don't need to pause, but look at the size of that army. That is a huge army. We're only at the 13-minute mark. I've already managed to take out 2 bases with that. Still have the ability for constant warp-ins. Remember, Zerg doesn't have anti-air early in the game. So, this Warp Prism's really safe. If you drop down a proxy pylon, however, there's a good chance that the Zerg player is going to be able to focus down that proxy pylon, and your days of reinforcements are over. But with a Warp Prism, yeah, you can keep going for a long time. This Immortal here has got now 19 kills. So we're going to take a look at the Agamemnon base. So we're staying at 16 workers per base, or approximately so, because we don't want more than 16 workers per base for optimal mining pleasure. We have 7, actually I think we now have 8 warp gates, 1 robo, 1 forge, and the robo, you notice, hasn't even been active. We're not even building more Immortals. All we're doing is using the original 2, which I could have kept alive better with my Warp Prism, and we're going to be constantly warping in Zealots and Stalkers and continue that pressure. Meanwhile, we're going to be expanding and teching up in case this does not completely finish our opponent. Yeah, so I hope that helped you guys. Again, the point to drive home really is this. Scouting, yeah, scouting is great. But if you know your opponent only has so many options in the early game, then by his actions, by what arrives at your base and at what time, you can probably figure out what he's up to, what he's doing. And so you don't need to scout. And then you just, you know, and this may only be in PvZ, maybe, I don't know. But with this build, you don't need to scout. You just make lots of gates, and then you have 2 Mortals, 1 Warp Prism, and a bunch of Stalkers. Sorry, a bunch of Zealots. And I think my internet's dying. Okay, so my internet crashed again. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully that helps you if you want a really in-depth analysis of the Naniwa Immortal Zealot All-In. I encourage you to go check out Day9's video on it, because he explains it way better than I did. But I just wanted to show you guys in action how it works, and I'm gold and I beat a platinum player. Yeah! And it worked really good. So big shoutouts to Neuro. Thank you very much for that awesome coaching. If you guys want to get in touch with him, you can get in touch with me, and I can hook it all up, I suppose. We're going to say goodbye, but stick around afterwards, because we're going to do mono battles or whatever you guys feel like doing. If you want to play, hop on the NA server in StarCraft, and let's do it. I'm Agamemnon signing off for SC2 Mistakes on YouTube, where you learn from our mistakes, and thanks for showing up, guys.